Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on QNT. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about QNT. I'm going to start with this. Binance US will list Quant Network. Now this is massive news. I can't wait to see what this does to the price of QNT. But earlier today on crypto Twitter, I seen somebody say, if you didn't buy QNT under $50, you missed out on QNT. You absolutely didn't miss out on anything. I believe we're still very early. Even where the price sits today, it's still cheap. So let's continue. Remember, Quant is no crypto. Quant Network develops the first and only patents-pending blockchain operating system, Overledger, for banks, enterprises, and governments. Licenses, transactions, and other fees are charged in QNT. Limited availability. As the supply shrinks, QNT is going to rise in value. It's going to be very expensive in the future. Meaning, Quant Network solves a major issue, which is interoperability. Simply means the ability of computer systems or software to exchange and make use of information. It's like using Ethereum, Bitcoin, Sol all together interoperably for different purposes. Meaning that one chain cannot win the market. The future is multi-chain, but other projects like DOT and Link are doing the same thing. What does make QNT different? While every other project can solve blockchain-to-blockchain interoperability issue, QNT can solve any-to-any issues. Meaning that whether it's a special purpose chain, smart contract chain, or a privacy chain, they all can integrate with each other. Now this is that massive network I'm always telling you about that's just getting started. And it's all coming together, and at some point, QNT will be the glue that holds all of this together. Payments, blockchains, enterprise blockchains, banking, it all ties to QNT. Then you get into NFTs, Metaverse, Web3, again, all tied to QNT. When you invest in QNT, you're investing in everything all at once. Utility. Quant Network has a product called Overledger through which it operates. It's like Mac OS or Windows, but for the blockchain, meaning that it's an operating system of blockchain. So like every other system, you need licensing fee. You need QNT to buy Overledger. Now at some point, a lot of enterprises going to come on board. They will need QNT as well, pushing the price of QNT up. QNT provides the most up-to-date data at all times and allows banking systems to interconnect with each other. Just like Google Play Store and Apple Store, Quant's ecosystem allows developers to build multi-chain applications, maps for users. Each map allows multiple smart contracts to work together on different blockchains. Projects creating their map has to obtain an annual license to develop their application on Overledger. Users also have to hold some QNT in order to use the applications. That's where the value's really going to come from. QNT, the token that we all hold, is going to gain its value from enterprise buying it up to use it for Overledger. The maps can have paid subscriptions or in-app purchases which have to be paid with QNT. Other potential use cases of Overledger: finance, healthcare, smart vehicles, supply chain, power grid, virtual reality wearables, Internet of Things, insurance, and many more. And everything will be tied to QNT. But look at healthcare and supply chain and power grids. That's massive. And smart vehicles is just getting started. That's why I'm telling you, we're still very early. This is just getting built right now. Team. CEO Gilbert Verdian, having worked for 3+ years with the governments and top private sector fintech securities services. Superb connection in central banks would be helpful in helping CBDC scale. And that's the thing. All the talk right now is CBDCs. country after country obtaining a CBDC. At some point, QNT is going to be tied in there as well. Tokenomics, total and circulating supply 14 million. Bitcoin 21 million with nearly no use case. Think about where Bitcoin went in the last run, $69,000. Think of where QNT can go with a lot of utility and less supply. No inflation. QNT locked up in order to use Overledger, the only interoperability platform. Users need QNT in order to use Overledger. A small percentage is held by the team. Increasing supply often leads to saturation of the price of a token. This isn't the case with QNT. Supply is 33% lower than Bitcoin. It can be said that if you believe that blockchain technology will grow, then QNT is bound to grow. And that's why, like I said, year over year, it's going to grow in value as well. Partnerships. Consulting firms like KPMG advise hundreds of the biggest companies in the world on digital strategy and emerging technologies. A QNT partner serving 80% of Forbes Global 1000. KPMG recommends Overledger to many businesses needing interoperability. Now, those businesses will have to also hold QNT. At some point, the supply will be gone. Nexi Group uses QNT to interoperate blockchains on their network, a use case that will continue growing over the next decade. Nexi is Europe's #1 credit card processor, connecting over 1,000 financial institutions in 25 plus countries and handling 21 billion transactions per year. That's huge. Millions of individuals will start using the Latam dollar in 2023, a currency built on LAC chain that utilizes Quant's Overledger. 16 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean use LAC chain to build public permission blockchain services for the region. Again, that is massive. Enterprise marketplaces are an excellent form of distribution for software like Overledger. Quant has a fantastic partnership with Oracle, who's integrated QNT into their blockchain infrastructure and offers it to 430,000 customers via their cloud marketplace. Now, you mean to tell me at some point QNT is not going to be all bought up? 430,000 customers. Think about that. And at some point, the price of QNT will be so high that you'll be owning pieces of a QNT. That's why I tell you, find an entry point that you can live with and buy it now while you still can. Conclusion. Solving interoperability. Overledger, superb team with great connections, one of its kind, scarce than Bitcoin, and have high utility. Great partnerships, good price to enter. And that's the thing. We are just getting started with the fourth industrial revolution. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You invest in the right cryptocurrencies now and you enrich yourself. You get financial freedom. At some point, you'll be able to put your crypto to work for you so you don't have to go to work anymore. It's crazy how people would rather be haters than make money. Plenty of time to jump on the QNT train before it's 5 digits. And that's why I'm telling you, it's very undervalued right now. Where it's sitting right now compared to where it's going in the future, it's still very, very cheap. It's going to hit 5 digits at some point. A lot of people still don't believe that, but if you look at the fundamentals behind QNT, you look at that utility compared to Bitcoin, and look where Bitcoin went, $69,000. Remember that. Because QNT, I believe, at some point will surpass that price. And like I said, we're just getting started. That massive network is just starting to grow. QNT will be the glue holding it all together. This week, I wanted to talk about those cryptocurrencies that can easily do a 10x at some point and 100x plus in the future, long term. And QNT is definitely one of those cryptocurrencies. It's a very sound investment. You buy in, you sit back, you be patient, and you never overinvest. Invest what you could afford to lose. That's the key to crypto. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.